conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during this conference, please signal an operator by pressing star and then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Dr. Praveer Sinha, MD and CEO of Tata Power. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Darwin. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining for the analyst call. I am joined today by my colleagues, Sanjeev Churiwala, CFO, Mr. J.V. Patil, Financial Controller, Kasturi and Rajesh Lachani from the Investor Relations, and few of my other colleagues from Finance and Investor Relations team. It's a proud moment for us to once again share with you that Tata Power performance this quarter has also been very good, and this is the 19th consecutive quarter in which we have shown an increase in our assets. And that goes to prove that how consistent our performance has been. The good foundation that has been laid continues to support the company for improving its performance quarter on quarter. When we are looking at the market, we find that the demand of power has grown by nearly 11% in the last quarter, and it continues to be very, very robust going forward also. In the last budget announced by our Honorable Finance Minister, there were 4 things that she mentioned which has a huge impact on us. The first is the focus on the PM Surya Ghar program, and as all of you are aware, we have already got more than 1 lakh rooftop solar installations, and with the focus of the government to install nearly 1 crore in next 3 to 4 years, we are poised to really be the market leader and take a pole position while implementing rooftop solar right across the country. The second point that was mentioned, that the government will be coming up with a policy to support pumped hydro storage. As all of you are aware, government has been supporting many of the FDRE projects, especially considering that while going forward, while we will have the infirm power from solar and wind, to make them firm, battery storage or pump storage will happen. And that's why Government of India is keen that many of the pump storage projects which are there in the pipeline should get implemented quickly. As you are aware that in Tata Power we have already taken initiative to implement 2,800 megawatts, out of which the 1,000 megawatts should possibly start in this year, in the later part of this calendar year, once we get all the necessary approvals. And the other 1,800 megawatts should start by mid of next year. The third announcement which the government, the Honorable Finance Minister made, was they will come up with a policy which will encourage private sector participation in small modular reactors. In this regard, we are discussing with the concerned authorities in the government and the company involved in such activities. And we do hope that we will play a very, very important role once there is a clarity on the technology and the fuel and other.
So sorry to interrupt, but the audio for you went very low. We're not audible.
It's not audible?
Sir, now it is audible, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Please.
So I think on small modular reactors, there will be a lot of activity that will happen. And we will definitely examine them objectively to see the opportunity that we have and how in our quest to move towards renewable energy, this can support us going forward. We also have seen in the budget that the Honorable Finance Minister mentioned about some of the duty reductions on the clean energy space, and those will benefit the industry going forward. We have already shared the financial details. I will not go through that, but just a couple of points. First is that our 4 gigawatt cell and module plant is progressing very well. The module plant, which was commissioned in the last financial year, has now stabilized and is producing at full capacity. And we have already shared with you that its performance in the first quarter has been good. And now that it has stabilized and the quality has improved, it will further improve in this quarter and subsequent quarters. Our cell plant is all ready to get commissioned. In this month, the first 2 gigawatt will get commissioned, and in next month, we will have the next 2 gigawatt commissioning. And we expect that it will get stabilized in the next 2-3 months, and the full capacity will start getting produced from the third quarter onwards. We have also now finalized an agreement to execute a 600 megawatt hydro plant in Bhutan with the Group Green Power. This is a project which will produce power in Bhutan and partly will be consumed in Bhutan, especially during the winter months. And in the summer months, it will be sold in India. And the preliminary work on the statutory approval, land has been acquired, and work will start in the later part of this calendar year. And this will entail an investment of nearly 6,900 crores. We will have 40% equity in this project with the responsibility of sale of power to India, as also in the project implementation and operations. We have shared with you about some of the other initiatives that the company has taken, especially in terms of the execution of projects. And in this quarter, we have already spent 4,000 crores of capex, with nearly 60% in the renewables and balance 40 in transmission and distribution. And the results of that, in terms of the returns, will start showing in next quarter onwards. We have a very ambitious plan of 20,000 crore investment in this year, and we are on track to implement that. And all our initiatives in renewables, which includes our rooftop manufacturing, utility scale, third-party EPC, are going very well. Similarly, in the transmission, our projects are getting implemented. The 2 projects where we had started, which was under stressed asset, which we took over. The part A of that project is already commissioned and started giving us returns. The part B is under implementation and will get completed in this financial year. The 2 projects that we won in the bids, in the TBC we bids last year, they are under implementation and will get implemented and become operational in FY26. We have recently won another transmission project. This is an intra-state project. This is a 765 kV line in Odisha, and we will complete that in 24 months as per the condition of the contract. All our businesses have done excellent performance, have given very good results, and we find that quarter on quarter our results are improving because of the strong foundation of each of these businesses. And we expect that this will continue to improve going forward. Our balance sheet is very, very sturdy in spite of large capexes that we have incurred. And we do expect that our net debt, which has gone up by 4,300 crores to 42,000, will be very, very calibrated when we look at the financial metrics of net debt to underlying EBITDA, which is less than 3, and our net debt to equity is less than 1.1. So I think all these are very good signs, and acknowledging all the efforts that the company has made, we have got upgraded in terms of our credit rating from A positive to A plus stable, both from ICRA and CARE. And this will help us to further bring down our financing cost and to that extent improve our profitability. With these remarks, I would like Darwin to open the floor for question and answer.
Certainly, sir. Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to withdraw yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to please use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Sumit Kishore from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Good evening. Thanks for the checking. My first question is that RE auction volumes in Q1 as per your presentation has been 20 gigawatt.
Sorry to interrupt, Sumit. The line for you is not very clear. I request you to please move to an area with better network.
I hope this is better.
Slightly better, yes. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. As per the presentation, RE auction volumes in Q1 have been 20 gigawatt plus. You also mentioned that solar cell and module prices have been falling while auction tariffs have risen. I just wanted to understand why has Tata Power not seen an increase in solar and hybrid RE pipeline in Q1 FY25. Even the EPC order book for utility scale solar has not grown quarter on quarter from March 24. So just wanted to understand the thoughts behind these numbers.
So, as you are aware, we have more than 5 gigawatt of utility scale renewables which is under implementation, which includes some of the enterprise orders also, which is the group captive for Tata Steel and some of the other industries. In addition to this, there is nearly 3 gigawatt of third-party EPC which is under implementation. So we have nearly 8 gigawatt of projects which is under implementation now. And we are fully tied up for all the projects for this financial year where we expect to do more than 3 gigawatt of implementation and next year of 4 gigawatt. So we wanted to ensure that first we implement all these projects, at least the quantum of these projects gets completed in this year before we start bidding for new projects going forward. Also, what we have found is that while the renewable projects can be implemented in 24 months, the availability of evacuation arrangement transmission lines are taking much longer. And we expect the new set of transmission lines to only come in FY27 and 28. So that's why we don't want to take a project and then get stuck with them, which are stuck because of the transmission or the evacuation arrangements not being available. So we will definitely look at accelerating some of these projects. But our objective is that we will be participating more in complex and hybrid projects and FDRE projects than just plain vanilla solar and wind projects. And you will see in this quarter, large number of hybrid and FDRE projects are going to come, and we will be aggressively bidding in them.
This is very clear. The 3 gigawatt commissioning that you mentioned in FY25 and 4 gigawatt next fiscal includes both Tata Power's own projects and third-party projects.
Absolutely right, sir. So 5 gigawatt of our own and 2 to 2.5 gigawatt of others.
Got it. The second question is on Delhi distribution business in Q1, where we have seen an operating profit increased sharply to 554 crores versus 321 crores in Q1 FY24. Is there any one-time tariff order impact? If you could please elaborate.
Yeah, there is a one-time tariff order impact of 163 crores, and that has been considered.
Okay. The last question is on your cluster-wise consolidated EBITDA numbers. So if I look at solar EPC plus PP solar, which is a new disclosures, including plus others, including elimination, it is actually fallen year on year despite the PP solar 4 gigawatt module facility being available for the full quarter. So I understand the inter-segment elimination between solar EPC and PPC solar, but why is the total EBITDA for solar EPC plus PP solar plus others lower on a year-on-year basis? Thank you.
See, the best way to look at them is on a 12-month cycle, because what happens is certain activities get completed in different quarters. So in one quarter, it may be that only the steel structures have been spent. In the next quarter, the solar modules have gone. So it's very difficult to keep track on a quarter-to-quarter basis. But if you see on a 12-month rolling basis, you will find that it has only improved.
Sure. Those are my questions. I'll get back in the queue. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Puneet Gulati from HSBC. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, and congrats on good performance. My first question is on your pump storage. Can you talk a bit about where you are in terms of approvals, etc., and what all more do you need before you start construction?
See, there are three parts of this. One is the land acquisition and the various internal studies and approvals. All that has been done. So all the private and the government and the forest land has been obtained. The second component is about the approval from CEA and other CWC and other authorities. We have got all approvals excepting one, which we expect that we will get in August. The third is the environment and forest. There also most of the approvals have been received, and we expect the balance approvals to come by September, October. So that's why in this year we will start the construction activity. The preliminary work relating to the project has already started, and we expect that the project will be completed in 44 to 46 months.
And have you placed orders for the equipment yet?
The bidding process is going on, and hopefully by October we will finalize the order.
Okay, that's good. And on Bhutan, if you can talk a bit about the timeline of completion and the role that you will play. So execution will be your responsibility there?
So execution is a joint responsibility of Brook Green and Tata Power. Already the order for civil construction work has been given, and the diversion tunnel work has already started 2 weeks back. So we will get the benefit of 5 months in that. Secondly, once the civil works order is reinstated over there, we expect the work to start in later part of this calendar year. We will now be working with the banks on financial closure and also tie-up of sale of power. And we expect that in next 3 to 4 months all this will be completed. So our expectation is that within 5 years we will be able to complete this project.
Okay, that's it. And just a small accounting thing. There was just a negative working capital impact of some 2,500 crores this quarter. If you can comment a bit on what does that relate to?
Yeah, there were some payments which we were expecting from some of our large EPC projects that we were executing. That got deferred. Some of it has been collected in the month of July and balance in August and September will collect.
Understood. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. My question is on the solar manufacturing. Where is this profit on the model sitting in which entity?
This is in TP Solar.
TPSSL, right? Am I right?
No, TP Solar.
Okay, that's not the part. The details are not there. Understood.
It is in renewables. It is the item 3 in renewables. You would see TP Solar 4.3 gigawatt cell and module manufacturing plant.
Understood, sir. My question is it fair to say that we'll not be able to consume entire 4 gigawatt of solar manufacturing given our pipeline? Do you think we'll be open to external sales? And is there a case to expand the capacity?
Yeah, I mentioned to you that we have already 5 gigawatt of our own projects which we have to implement, and another 3 of third party. So I have already 8 gigawatt of capacity which is tied up. So for next 2 years I am already full. But if there is any additional capacity we will have, we will look at the opportunity, especially projects which insist on BCR modules. And also if there are good export opportunities which are available, we can definitely examine them.
Understood, sir. The second question on the solar rooftop. Have you seen the guidelines from the government or in the public domain? Do you see any uptick in the inquiries? How do you think about this business for the rest of the balance of the year?
There is a huge uptick, and it is something to the extent of to 10 times more than what we saw last year. So great opportunity. It's a question of how quickly we can convert them and execute these orders.
When do you think we'll see the traction in the meaningful term?
Beg your pardon?
When do you think you'll see a meaningful accretion in the revenues from solar rooftop?
I think by fourth quarter you should start seeing third to fourth quarter.
Understood, sir. Thank you. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Satyajit from Ambit Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you. First question is on the CAPEX. There's a significant step up in the CAPEX guidance of 20,000 crore this year versus last. And I believe whatever we allocate, pump storage in Bhutan, may not be that material. So just want to know, is it possible to outline where is all this CAPEX going across different businesses?
So just to give you a little general idea, out of 20,000, about 55 to 60% will go to renewable, which includes the renewable manufacturing plant as also the utility scale projects that we will execute and the group captive projects that we will execute. Another 30% will go to our transmission and distribution business, the various projects, and also the ongoing distribution in Delhi and Odisha. And I would say about 15%, 10 to 15% will be in our thermal and some of the new investment that we are doing in pumped hydro and the Bhutan project. So that's the approximate sort of indicative number that is there.
Okay. Just wanted to understand the SMR. There seems to be some excitement around it. I used to believe the CAPEX cost for SMR is somewhere around 30 to 40 crore. What can you outline, maybe discuss what is driving this optimism around SMR?
The details are still to be out, and it would be very premature at this stage to guess what will be their CAPEX and what will be their cost of fuel and things like that. So let's wait for this type of structure that the government is proposing to come. And let's examine it, and then we will be in a position to share our view on the same.
Okay. Just one quick question on rooftop solar. Are you seeing any increase in competitive intensity in your own expectations? Earlier, I believe you were looking at 30% market share. It's been toned down to 20%. It seems like overall competitive intensity? Are you seeing more players enter this segment given the opportunity size?
So there are very fragmented players. Those are, I would say, not really competitors in that sense. Whoever is looking for quality products long term, we have 50 to 60% market share actually in those sectors. So I think no one has the type of market access and the product quality as we have. So I think we are in very good position as far as the rooftop solar is concerned.
Okay. Thank you so much, Anish.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Apurva Bahadur from Goldman Sachs. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, you briefly touched upon the possible constraint on transmission sort of impacting renewable execution generally. So just wanted to check what type of transmission capacity do we have in hand for executing future projects?
I think the type of capacities that has been planned is humongous in the sense that they are talking about how to add capacity of nearly 150 gigawatt till 2030. And the bidding process for it and execution, ROW are huge challenges. So I think it will be very important that these are planned in such a way that they come along with the execution of these projects in different parts of the country. And that's where also there is an opportunity for companies like us, who are also in transmission, to take a much larger pie of the opportunity that will come.
Sir, I meant from our renewable capacity development perspective. Do we have, say, any surplus transmission capacity beyond our renewable pipeline today, or is it adequate for what we have in hand?
So this is just adequate for all the new capacities that will come up in next 2 years. And that's where if we have to add more capacity, more transmission lines have to be set up. And FY27 onwards, more and more lines have to come. So we want 50 gigawatt of renewable to come in FY27, and you will have to create that sort of transmission arrangement to evacuate that power.
Understood, sir. And do we have surplus land bank for renewables already in place, or?
The Tata Power, yes, we continuously keep on acquiring land at various locations, and we have a large land bank. Some of them we acquire, some of them we take it on long-term lease. So that's an ongoing process. And as I mentioned to you, that we are now looking more of hybrid solutions, so solar and wind sites we are looking at. And we continue to keep on adding as the demand increases.
Sure, sir. Last question from my side is on the PPA for the Bhutan project. You mentioned that the arrangement will be such that power will be sold in Bhutan during winters and India in summers. So what type of an offtake agreement are you looking at over here?
It's like a standard PPA. It will be there for any IPP. And this will primarily be for 25 or 30 years. The agreement is for 30 years, so we can typically have a 30-year PPA for hydro plants, as is already being done for many of the plants which are developed in India and also developed in Nepal. So this will be primarily catering to the summer months from May to October, and it will actually meet the peak requirement of power of the country going forward.
So what type of returns are generally built in?
Well, nothing less than what we get in CRC.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. I'll get back in the queue. All the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rajesh Majumdar from B&K Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir, and congratulations on the good set of numbers. So I want to harp on the nuclear...
Sorry to interrupt, Rajesh, but the line for you sounds muffled. I request you to please change the handset mode.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, much better, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, so as I was saying, congratulations on the good set of numbers, sir. And just to harp on the nuclear modules a little bit, would it be possible to give us an idea about the speed to delivery time in these modules? Like typically, what would be the kind of construction time for these SMRs?
First of all, thank you, but I really don't know what to tell you very frankly. We are still waiting to hear from government and also the identified public enterprise who would be working with us. So at this stage, it's very, very preliminary, and let's wait. I think in another 2-3 months, we will get better clarity on this.
Okay, sir. My second question, sir, would it be fair to assume that our growth in the renewables business will be fueled mostly from the whatever group in-house capex that is happening, as well as the rooftop solar, because you yourself opined that a large amount of transmission capacity would be coming in only in 28 and 29. So that would be a normal hindrance to our ability to bag projects, other kind of projects. Is that a correct assumption?
No, it's not a correct assumption. I mentioned to you that we have 8 gigawatt under implementation, which will come in FY25, 26, and some of it in the early part of 27. Now, for 27, 28, the evacuation have to come. So if we get any new project, for that, the evacuation has to be tied up. And it's important that the evacuation lines are planned for FY27 and 28. So we will be taking large number of projects, but we'll go for complex and hybrid projects like solar and wind or FDRE projects with storage. And all these projects will come up in the year by 27-28. And you will find that these are not only for utilities, but also for enterprise and industries with whom we will be tying up.
And so my last question is, we've seen a large amount of investment by JSW Steel on the renewables front, whereas we've not seen a similar kind of move from Tata Steel taking place, because they have their own issues regarding Europe, etc., which are getting sorted, and probably at some stage they will do it. Do you see that coming as a kind of a large factor over, say, 1 or 2 years, the decarbonization drive from Tata Steel in particular?
We have already signed an agreement with them to provide them 966 megawatt of hybrid project. Part of it will get commissioned in this financial year and balance in the next financial year. Apart from that, we've already executed some of the projects for them of nearly 100 megawatt, and another 100 is under finalization. So I think Tata Steel is going very aggressive, and they will be at the forefront, and Tata Power will provide them all support for clean energy.
Thank you. Thanks for the question.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ketan Jain from Avendus Spark. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, sir. Good evening. So my first question is on what is the status of solar pumps business? Like, how much have we installed in FY24 and the first quarter?
So we have not installed any more solar pumps in this year, because the last order which was given was in FY22, and whatever order was given, we have completed that. The new set of orders have not come, and so we have not executed it.
Okay. So in the module manufacturing, so what type of realization can we expect in domestically, like in our facility in Tamil Nadu?
Very difficult at this stage to say. The plant is still stabilizing, and we'll be able to share more details maybe in Q3 once the plant has stabilized fully.
Understood. So what is your view on power distribution reforms, and what opportunities are likely to come Tata's way?
So there are some states who are examining this proposal, and we do expect that in next 2-3 months, some of them will formally come up with a proposal. asking us to submit the proposal, and I'm sure you will come to know about that.
Sir, any states names you can share?
That the states have to inform. I cannot give you.
Okay. And my last question is on Section 11. So when do you think Section 11 will be reintroduced again?
It's already under operation. It's there till 15th of October, and we expect either that will get extended or we will find an amicable solution.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vishal Revan from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Vishal Periwal from Stock Broking. So a couple of clarification. One is you mentioned we'll be doing 3 gigawatt this year, 4 gigawatt next year. So this is under the asset. We will be the asset owners. It's in addition to the EPC, the separate line item for us, right?
So I mentioned that 5 gigawatt of our own we will be doing, and 3 of a third party. So totally we will be doing about 8 gigawatt. More than 3 gigawatt we will do this year, and more than 4 gigawatt we will do in FY26. So that's the broad plan that we have.
Okay. So maybe I'll just clarify. So this includes where we are the asset owners, and also it includes where we are doing EPC for others.
Absolutely right.
Okay. And will the breakup will be there in terms of where we are asset owners? What is the addition in this year and next year?
We'll be able to provide you separately. I don't have it in the breakup right now, but I'm sure we'll be able to provide you that.
Sure, sir, sure. And maybe one last thing. In the entity-wise consolidated performance, so the elimination which comes in that slide. So if one has to understand from which subsidiary it is largely coming
Elimination. See, elimination primarily comes from whatever you do utility scale for yourself. So that is the elimination, or any rooftop business that you do. So that is anything within the company is the elimination.
Okay. So the solar EPC is something which particularly it's coming. So that okay.
Absolutely right. Maybe dividend. Or maybe dividend.
Okay. Sure, sir. I think I'll get in touch maybe with the team separately for more details. Thank you.
Yeah, you can connect with Rajesh and Kasturi. I'm sure they will provide you all the information.
Sure, sir. Sure. This is helpful.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Amit Bide from Morgan Stanley. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. I just wanted to understand, is there any capacity apart from Prayagraj where we have a possibility of selling it on merchant? And if so, in quarter one, how much did we sell, and the kind of EBITDA we could have made on that one?
So our Haldia plant is a merchant plant. So it's 120 megawatt, and I think the 20 megawatt is given to Tata Steel. Balance 100 is merchant. And so also our Prayagraj, where nearly 150 megawatt is available for either short-term or merchant sales. So yeah, these are the two plants which have merchant sales.
So how much would have been the sales approximately, and any EBITDA number that you can help us with on that?
That number we'll be able to provide you separately. I don't have it readily.
Sure. And another thing, sir, I want to understand is, given the transmission opportunity ordering that's happening, how much would be the balance sheet capability to bid for transmission project at the time when you are already looking aggressively to bid for renewables in the coming quarter?
Yeah, so we'll bid both of them aggressively. I mentioned to you that we are also doing large amount of capex in our transmission business, and we'll continue to do that.
Right. All right, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask questions, you may please press star and 1. The next question comes from the line of Mittal that's Anuj Upadhyay and Invest Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Thanks for the opportunity. So you also mentioned about the evacuation facilities from the Bhutan project would be on us. Could you elaborate further on that? Would the return on the transmission evacuation facility will also be on a regulated basis, or how exactly it will be placed?
So there are two parts of the transmission system. One is the transmission system within Bhutan up to the India border. So that will be done by the Bhutan Power Corporation, and that's the investment that they will do and charge the projects. The other is the India side of the transmission, which of course has been already implemented in a large quantity. Transmission system has already been implemented, and whatever are the transmission charges one has to pay, but the HPO policy of Government of India says that any project which comes up to 2030 may not be required to pay ISTS charges. So this project should be able to meet that requirement.
Okay, and any guidance in the capex, sir? Or does the capex for the hydro project include transmission capex as well, or it's purely for the plant per se and transmission capex is different?
Yeah, this is only for the plant. The transmission is not being done by us, so we have not kept that capex.
Okay. And your share of profitability was slightly down during the quarter across the JV and the associates. So was it the profitability across the Indonesian coal which got impacted, or it was some other line?
Yeah, coal companies' profitability has been coming down because the coal prices are not going up, and they have stabilized at a certain level. So this is the profit that the coal companies have been able to share.
Thank you, sir. That's all from us.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take that as a last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference over to Dr. Praveer Sinha for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Govin, and thank you to everyone for your questions. In case we have not been able to respond to all your questions, or you still have some additional questions, please connect with my colleagues from the Investor Relations team, Kasturi and Rajesh, and I'm sure we'll be able to provide you all information. We have, over a period of time, improved the way the presentations have been made, but we continue to expect feedback from you so that it can further be elaborated and becomes more friendly in terms of your analysis and assessment. So please continue to give us your feedback, and we'll try to give you as simple a presentation as possible. And thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you. On behalf of the Tata Power Company Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you all for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines.